My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay and I get a lot of questions about how to do quite specific things within eBay itself. Anything from setting up variation listings to setting postage rates. So I'm creating this series of short videos that will get to the point and show you exactly how to do any number of these things. Look at setting up postage costs, postage policies. It's one of these things that's really straightforward, really simple to do, but only when you know how. So let's have a wee look. First up, I always just navigate from my active listings page because that's typically where I am, and we need to go to business policies, which is in the left hand menu. Now these are all the various policies and bits and pieces I've already got set up, but we want to be able to filter for type so we can find our various postage policies, and let's open up one that I'm not actually using at the moment because then we can play about with it and it's not going to affect anything that I am doing. So policy name is very important for keeping yourself organized. eBay, when you change list and split relist, they will create copies because things can't be moved where they need to go, but we're going to come back and name it once we've done everything else. Right, first of all, what is the basis of the policy? So big and bulky, collection only, or just a flat rate postage. This will differ if you're not in the UK, so this is really about UK services. Then you can choose a variety of services. So I'm going to turn off free postage there at the moment, and we're going to find one to get started. So let's say our typical, let's go to Royal Mail, looking for 48 hour. I've probably gone past it, it was already at the top, wasn't it? Because I use it all the time. Yeah, there it is. Royal Mail 48, so that's a tracked service. It's worth doing a wee bit of looking up on the Royal Mail website just to check which service suits best. So Royal Mail 48, that means it will be delivered 2 to 3 working days from when you drop it off. Also, you want to go in and check what the actual prices are for what you are setting up and doing. So if I'm wanting to send parcels that are up to 2 kilograms, then the basic Royal Mail cost is £3.29 to send that item. However, I'm selling books. eBay are going to take 11.9% plus VAT of that amount that I charge. So if they were to take, we'll just call it 12% at the moment for ease of working it out, 3.29 times 0.12, they're going to take 40 pence of that from me to as a part of the fees, which means I would only actually be charging about £2.90 in postage, which is not going to cover the postage costs. So you've got to be really careful about that. So if we were to go with my usual, which is £3.99 times 0.12, then that means that they're taking about 50 pence off of that total in fees, which leaves you with about £3.50, and I charge that because it's £3.29 to post it, and I use about 20 pence worth of packaging materials for each package that goes when it's that under 2 kilos. So £3.29 becomes £3.99, and that means that I'm actually getting enough money in to post off that item as it goes. Now you have the option here that if people were to buy more than one option, so if I was putting this up for, pre-made bundles, so for example a wee pre-made bundle of books weighs less than 2 kilos, but people could potentially buy another pre-made bundle of books or a wee box set, then do I want to just charge the one flat rate postage and take the hit on any additional costs, because that could double it, or do I want to make sure that I'm covering extra postage. So here is where you have the option to say, right, so for each additional it's going to be £1. So if they were to buy all three of those, then I would be charging £4.99, £5.99 postage, which wouldn't be enough to cover the full postage for all of those, but it gives you an idea of what's potentially there. I don't add that in, I just leave that at 0 and allow it to do what it's doing. Right, you can set up additional offers. So let's go with Royal Mail Tracked. That should be Royal Mail 48 Tracked, but it's not. Royal Mail Tracked 24, and it costs a bit more to send on that, so we'll leave that in at £4.99 at the moment. And if they want it DPD next day, that costs about £6.44 at the moment, so we'll make that £7.99 to allow for the additional costs, the fees that eBay will take against that postage. So that gives you your basic postage setup. Standard, which is the one that people will be presented with if they don't change anything, £3.99 for Royal Mail 48 hour tracked. Royal Mail Tracked 24, DPD next day, increasing its price as they go along. I'm going to see if I can find Royal Mail Tracked 48, because that's the one that I really want in there, and I've got a feeling it's not named as such here. No, I'm not seeing it, I'll just leave it as it is. Right, so moving on down, combined postage discounts. So eBay's good because it has lots of little help boxes. So you can combine items into one package and offer postage discounts. Specify the combined postage discount you want to use for this listing. So we're going to leave that just now and come back to it. Dispatch time. So are you going to send it out on the same working day? Is it always going to be tomorrow? You know, if you get an order in at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to ship it until the following day? Or will you ship items the same working day if you receive the order before 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? I typically have this set as same working day, and then you need to go into your postage preferences to edit what that actually means. But again, we'll come back to that in a wee second. We'll finish our way down here first. International postage. I don't do any alternative international postage because it just becomes, you know, very convoluted, having to deal with all the different customs and tax issues. So I only send it through global shipping, which means it's dead easy. You tick that box. If somebody wants to buy something and they're based abroad, then eBay take care of all of that, and you send it to the eBay Global Shipping Centre and they'll post it on for there, and you just charge your normal postage rate to get it to the shipping centre. Any additional postage beyond that, eBay work that out with the customer. Delivery rate tables. If you've got different weights, different sizes, then you can set up a rates table. If you're doing that, then in each listing you need to make sure you've put in dimensions, weights, etc., so that when somebody checks out, all that information's there and it can work out what the postage rate should be for that. Not something I bother with, although if you've got lots of particularly heavy items and lots of particularly light items, it could be worth doing that, but we're not going to go into that here today. That's a separate issue altogether. What we are going to go and do is go into our postage preferences. So you can navigate to this from other areas, but this is where you want to set it up. So at the moment this one is defaulted to, if the order comes in by 11 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Wednesday, I'll get it posted out the same day, and it's dead easy to adjust that. You simply go and change the times. If you also want to ship on Saturday, you can do that too. So on Saturday, post office closes early, so give them till 10 o'clock in the morning, but don't have a working day on Sunday, so nothing's going to get dispatched on Sunday. And once you've chosen all of that, so this is for your same day dispatch, click save, and that bit is done. When you come out of there, it's obviously going to take you back to the postage preferences main menu, so it's always worth having a wee look to see if there's anything else down here that you want to look at. And there we go, combined payments. So when you go into the postage preferences main menu, edit here, And it's as simple as that. Accept combined payments. Allow buyers to send one combined payment for all items purchased. So time period to combine payments, 14 days. And down here it'll tell you what is happening here. So buyers can pay for multiple items at the same time. You must accept combined payments to offer postage discounts. So we'll be having a look at that in a wee second. Combined postage discounts apply only to items listed in the currency you select. So people have to pay UK pounds. If you offer a postage discount for additional items, changing the currency does not change the amount charged. So we don't want to change anything in there at the moment, but we do want to look at our promotional postage rule, which is in here. Select a promotional rule that applies to all listings with postage discounts. Select purchase requirements. So you can have minimum number of items purchased, minimum purchase price for free postage, wherever it would go. So this is one that's just set up as a kind of dummy. I don't actually use these, and we'll explain more about that shortly. Minimum number of items purchased. If some purchase 3 items, then they would get postage of £3.35. That's just set up. You can change that to say, right, if somebody buys 3 items, they'll get free postage. You can do whatever you like with that one there. Next, we need to move on to, is it in the flat postage rule? Right, yes, so this is the one. Select rules for flat postage costs on combined purchases. So this is the one that you really need to be looking at. So you can either not have an offer on that, which means if you're charging £3.99 postage, somebody buys 5 books from you, they're going to get charged 20 quid in postage. You can add an amount for each additional item, or you can subtract an amount for each additional item. So if your postage is £3.99, if you buy 2, you give them £1 off, then you can designate that in there. But the one that I use, and most of you are probably interested in, is add an amount for each additional item. So I'll click off the free postage. Go back to what we were talking about before. If people are buying across different listings and every time they buy another item you want to charge an extra £1 in postage to make sure it's covered, that's all you need to do. Stick in a 1 there. Oops, I've clicked the wrong thing. But what I do is have free postage. So an amount for each additional item. It doesn't mean free postage on the first item they order, it means for additional. So if you've got a mixture of free postage and charged postage on your listings, somebody buys 2 free postage items and a charged postage, it will charge them the £3.99 for the charged postage, and then they've got free postage in the others regardless. If they buy 5 items and 3 of them have £3.99 postage and 2 of them have free postage, it'll charge £3.99 for the first item. The 2 other items that are at £3.99 it won't charge for, and then the other 2 are free postage anyway. So this is the one you need to click if you want to have that combined postage, instead of having to constantly go and refund people, or people being put off by the fact that they're getting charged multiple times to have one parcel delivered. And that's how you do that. So flat postage rule to do the combined postage, that's the one you want to make sure of. Now some shipping companies want phone numbers for tracking of parcels so that they can send prompts to people, send notifications to your customers to say your parcel's on the way, it will be delivered at, whatever that might be. But I don't bother asking for that. People can do tracking through the eBay app, so they can go in through that and see what's happening with their DPD parcel or whatever it might be. Right, enough of that stuff. So that takes us back to our edit postage policy. So we have set up, it's a flat, same cost to all buyers. We've decided we want our basic to be, why is that going to DHL? Let's just put it back to what it's meant to be, shall we? Which is, well, where is it? Royal Mail 48. There we go. Royal Mail 48, £3.99. If they want it track 24, it's going to be £4.99. If they want it DPD next day, it's going to be £7.99. If you're putting in a 1 working day offer, then you want to make sure that your dispatch time is the same working day as well, and have that set up with the relevant times. Round here, if you don't get your parcel to DPD before noon, chances are it's not going to get picked up until the following day. So that would actually be a 2-day. So you want to make sure you've got that whole bit tweaked as best you can. Combined postage discounts, you want to apply the flat postage rule that we have just set up to say if they buy more than one item, then it's free for each additional item that they buy. And the system is smart enough that it will charge the highest postage costs. So if somebody's buying something that weighs 20 kilos and you're charging 15 shipping, and then they've got 3 or 4 wee light things, it's not going to give them the light charge, it's going to charge them the main amount, and everything else is additional to that. There is nothing else on here that I would suggest playing around with to get this made up basics. So the last thing we need to do is give it a title. Now it's dead easy just to leave that as it is and say, oh, I'll know what I'm talking about, but don't. Make sure it's very, very clear what it is. So I say £3.99 flat rate Royal Mail 48-hour. Simple as that. You can, if you don't like using abbreviations, then you can make it even clearer. Right, Royal Mail 48-hour, and actually we want it to be tracked, so let's do it all the way out. So that keeps it really, really simple. Depending if you're doing listings on your phone or you're doing listings on the desktop, it doesn't always show you the costs next to the name. So this way you know you're putting on your £3.99, that it's the flat rate, that it's Royal Mail tracked 48-hour, and that's the main service. In the policy description, you can say 48-hour, 48, I'll try that again, 48-hour, 24-hour DPD next day. So that's what I would put in there, so that I know what the additional services are that are available within that. Sorry, one more thing that I would have in here is my shipping dispatch time. So it's the same day. So it's going to cost £3.99. It's the flat rate, and it's going to be Royal Mail tracked 48-hour, and it's same day dispatch. So then you know exactly what that postage policy is and will be. Click save, and that is that done and set up and ready to go. Now what we will do is quickly go and start a little listing just to show you what that might look like when you're going to apply it. So let's go in here, and right, I've got a wee draft for this opened up, so let's just go into this draft, show you what it is. So this is one that I just had been scanning and saved the draft from that, so none of the details have actually been completed on it, but we can go down and have a look at our listings. Now sometimes this takes a little while to update. Let's see if we can find the one we've just put in. Oh, these are very out of date. For some reason it's pulling through a lot of really, really old listings, but here's a good example. The simple one that I use mostly would be that bad boy there. So it's my flat rate 48 72-hour courier. It's 1 working days, and that's nearly all of my listings included in that. The one we've just created has not saved through and appeared there yet, but it will soon enough. And that is how you set up postage rules. I hope this has been helpful. If there's any other wee bits and pieces within that that I've missed, or you've had questions about and I haven't answered them, please let me know in the comments, and I'll keep coming back and checking out this video to make sure that everything is covered, and if we need to update it in the future, we'll do that then. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See ya, love ya, bye.